So, back to living with my mom as a fucking 30-year-old. Well, did I turn 30? Yeah, I turned 30. I was 29 when I moved back in, I think. And then I turned 30. Nobody said happy birthday to me, but my first sister. And she even got me some presents. And I felt really, really sad because not my mom, any of my other siblings said happy birthday to me. Not even my aunt, whose birthday was, the day after mine. I always went out of my way to say happy birthday to everybody and to get them presents when I could, even when I didn't get presents. But I always went out of my way to say happy birthday every birthday. This is actually the first year that I didn't. But nobody said it to me this year either. But I cried my 30th birthday because it's just like, these to me were my kids. Like, I raised them and they don't even like me or even give a shit about me, it seems. And like, maybe it's just me getting in my own head, but I kind of felt like the reason why my first sister said happy birthday to me is because she needed me to watch her son. So, yeah. I just tried to stay positive, tried to take care of myself so that I could feel good, so that when I went to these interviews, I'm glowing and in my highest vibing energy, so that whatever the highest vibing job is will take me. And then, I ended up calling my mom out on her jealousy when I was trying to get my aunt to help me get out of there. And she ended up helping me move. She moved me out that first day. The first day that I went to sign the paperwork and get the keys, not all of my stuff, but a good chunk of the stuff was in the car. And it really bothers me that first night, because that first night we had a blow up mattress and a crib for, sleeping. And that first night, the blow up mattress, I couldn't even blow up because the blow up thing was left in the car. And everything in me was telling me that I needed to check the trunk. And my mom was like, no, 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 I got it. And I was like, no, you might not. Like, instead, I wanted her to stay inside with the kids so that I could grab the stuff out. And she's like, no, no, I got it. But the thing is the blow up thing ended up being left in the trunk. So I ended up not having the blow up thing. And like, maybe it seems like a small thing, but I know for a fact that if I was the one taking the stuff out, then I would have remembered that. And that's why I don't like when people do stuff for me, because it's just the whole thing. And I put it in there and I remember exactly where I put it. So I was going to grab it and set it in the pure open space where I could easily get to it and where I would need it. And she wouldn't let me get into the freaking thing, so I had to sleep. Like, mind you, this place doesn't have carpet, it's all hardwood. And it is very hard. And with the fact that I still have issues laying on my cracked ribs, it was a fucking nightmare sleeping through the night. So, yeah. And then, after all of my stuff makes it over here, which I was still missing a couple of things, but it is what it is, whatever. Then I get no more messages back because, I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of like stuck. What do I do now? Because, like, I didn't want to move unless I had a fucking job. And I moved before I had a job. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll help you. I'll make sure all of that stuff is done or whatever. And lo and behold, I knew she was going to fucking abandon me. And yeah, I use that word because she said that she was going to fucking help me, and that's why. Whatever. Cool. I'm stuck. now having to figure this shit out myself. Lo and behold, I figured it out. So, like, she stopped answering text messages, and when she did answer, like, she was just like, you need to just figure your own shit out. And that's what she does. She says she's gonna help, and then she's like, oh, I'm so tired of you, always needing me to do stuff or whatever the case was. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Oh, and it's funny, like, I realized something too when I was living with her, and that's probably another reason why, like, she was in such a rush to get me out of um, her house, because I kind of discovered something. Because, like, when we got into an argument at one point, I was just like, I'm so sick of this. Like, I feel like chaos follows me everywhere. And she's like, you're the chaos. And I was just like, bitch, what the fuck? I went off. I did. I was like, oh yeah, I'm the chaos. When you refuse to actually help me actually build a real fucking foundation, and now I have no freaking skills to go by, because I have been asking you since I was 14 to teach me to drive. And each and every time I tried to freaking get a job or anything like that, you kept getting in the way. You absolutely refused to help me since the beginning of my independent adulthood. And she's like, you are 30 years old. Stop blaming me for all your problems and get your shit together. And it's funny because I just watched her, and the frequency that her voice reached would normally bother me. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Okay, yeah, it's my fault. But, like, it didn't bother me so as deeply. And I was just like, and then I said something else, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember exactly what it was. But whatever I said, it had some power to it. And the way that she responded was just like, she said something, and I was just like, you literally let the other two call you all sorts of bitch and whatever other words they can come up with. And she's like, yeah, but they don't do it with such venom in their voice. And I was like, I didn't even call you I didn't call you anything disrespectful. But because I said it with venom, that same venom that I've been getting from her my whole life. And that's when I realized that it was in that moment, the way that she responded, I realized that she didn't have any more fire. And that the fire that I thought I was missing, I still had. And it made me feel not quite vindicated, but like my inner teenager just kind of sat back and was like, huh. Because, like, finally she got to express all that anger that she had been feeling. I mean, it was nowhere near all of it, but some of it leaked out, and it was her turn to advocate for herself. And she did the damn thing. And so I ended up here, in this place. This has been a hell of a ride. But yeah, mind you, my mother is a Leo. So I think that specifically will sum up a lot of the shit that I went through. I'm a Leo moon. So I got it too. So yeah. It was interesting. It was interesting to discover that and to allow my inner teenager to kind of somewhat take back a little bit of that power that was stolen.